Hi, this is Michael White with 360 PM Pro, your property management pro for the metropolitan Atlanta area. Today we will talk about evictions and the process of eviction in the state of Georgia. Eviction process in the state of Georgia is pretty cut and dry. If a tenant has not paid by the due date, the next day you can file for eviction, and you do not have to accept any funds from them if you do not choose to. Now, keep in mind, if you do file eviction in the state of Georgia, once you file eviction, you can no longer accept any funds from that tenant. If you do, it voids your case. So keep that in mind at any time once you have started an eviction process. Also in eviction, there are different reasons to file evictions. Most people file evictions for non-payment of rent, which is probably 99% of the time. But sometimes you file eviction because people are not following the lease because of things that have happened in the property. Maybe they're keeping a pet, maybe they have an unauthorized person staying in the house. There's a number of other reasons that you could file for eviction too as well if it's in your lease. If you feel that the lease has been broken, then that is actually a reason to file for eviction. But as I said earlier, the number one reason is for non-payment. And remember, non-payment means the day after the funds are due, if that includes a grace period or what have you. Most people have a grace period from the 1st through the 5th. So on the 6th, you can file eviction if you have not received payment. Typical time frame to get a person into eviction court is 2 to 3 weeks in most counties in Georgia. Basically, you would have to fill out the paperwork at the courts. After you fill out the paperwork at the courthouse, the tenant will be served either by tack and serve, which means they would just tack the note to the door, or they would do a physical in-person service for that person. Make sure if there are other people in the property that you are not privy to knowing their names, that you put all others on there, or you may come into some other major problems because that tenant may have rights to stay in the property once the eviction has taken place if you have not let the courts know that there are other people in the property. Also, things to look out for are strange cases. Like I've had a case in the past where a person was incarcerated while living in the property and was not paying rent. Well, you still have to do the eviction process even though they're not in the property anymore, because they have items that are in the property that needs to be removed properly. And this is the biggest thing that I find that landlords do that is incorrect. If a person leaves the property, they think that they have received the property. But if you do not have anything in writing, if you do not have any key returned back to you, then that tenant is still in place by Georgia law. And you would need to file an eviction. If you have not done that, you have just broken the law if you remove that tenant items from that property on your own. Anytime items are removed from the property, there should be a sheriff or a marshal present to make sure that this is in order with the courts. If the sheriff or a marshal is not present and you remove items from the property, you could receive legal actions against you from the previous tenant that had items there for damages, and that can go all the way up to 3 times the amount of the rent. So I will definitely have someone that understands evictions that are evicting tenants from my property. Thank you. And if you have any other questions in reference to this, you may reach out to me. My name again is Michael White with 360 PM Pro.